Hi guys, mission revealed here. Today I'm going to explain an action and comedy film, Shaolin Soccer. Released in the year 2001. Let's get started. The movie starts with a flashback showing two guys arguing in a locker room. One of them is complaining to the other one for wanting to give him a check, and the other one claims to be just a simple messenger. The one who is more exalted grabs the other by the hair and shows him on his belly a kind of tattoo that says golden leg. Hung, the one with the check, decides to leave humiliated, but Feng, alias Golden Leg, takes the check from his hands and they go outside. Already on the field, Golden Leg is about to kick what would be an extremely important penalty kick for the match. But despite his confidence, he misses the kick suspiciously. At this, the irritated crowd rushes towards him and breaks his leg. Hung watched the scene attentively, then withdrew with a smile on his face. 20 years later, Hung became a great player and coach after Feng's tragedy. At the reception of a court, Feng appears, limping, with a tremendously submissive attitude to Hung. Feng animatedly tells him that he feels ready to lead a team, but Hung laughs, denying him. He still mocks the other's stomach tattoo, saying it's the only thing left of all his fame. A heated discussion begins. When the truth comes out, Hung paid Feng to miss the last goal led him to ruin. They end the discussion and Hung leaves. Having a beer in the street, Feng stumbles upon a screen that is broadcasting a soccer match. However, he is interrupted by a young man's commentary. Upon seeing him, he notices that he has both feet propped up on bags, spreading his legs wide open. The boy, named Sing, stands up and invites him to go to kung fu classes, claiming to study it in order to apply it to all areas of life. Sing begins to explain the philosophy of Shaolin Kung Fu, but Golden Leg tries to stop him because he has more important things to do. Everything gets worse when the boy calls him handicapped, so Feng angrily throws his beer can at him. However, it didn't even hit the ground, as Sing kicked it as if it were a ball, making it disappear into the sky. Despite this, he was ignored by Feng and their paths parted. Sing comes across a street bun stall, where the cook uses Shaolin Kung Fu to bake. Even her dough was in the shape of yin-yang. The boy was extremely shocked. Giving a shout and improvising a weird chant about what he had just seen, Sing approached her. He presumed to be a master too, so he could try to pay for a dumpling, but it didn't work out for him. He sang again to show appreciation to the girl, but she asked him to be quiet. That's how he leaves Mui, the cook, his old and broken slippers as a pawn, taking a bun and running away. The girl's boss appears, and when she asks for the slippers, she orders Mui to throw them away. As Feng urinates on a wall in broad daylight, he notices that on a nearby mural was the beer can Sing had kicked over, with his kung fu school brochure inside. As he tries to remove the can, the wall crumbles, revealing a neighborhood soccer team watching a young boy, Sing himself. The soccer players began to attack him until one of them decided to throw a soccer ball at him, and the boy began to kick the ball in an amazing way, combining his Shaolin techniques with soccer. Walls broke, soldiers fell, and all the attackers gave up, while Feng watched everything. After the big fight, the boy sits on a sidewalk having a drink, when Feng comes over to examine his leg. He states that it is not a normal leg and invites him to use it to play soccer. Sing is convinced that he could spread kung fu through soccer, but for that, he would need his sneakers back. The same ones he pawned at the bun place. That's how he goes to the place, where Mui gives them back to him, but not only that, he gives them to him repaired. Sing went to see his brother, but he received him as if he were an assassin. He told him about his new idea, about soccer. And the elder begged him not to look for him anymore and to stop humiliating him. After his first brother's rejection, he decides to take Feng and introduce him to his fourth brother, who seems to be very talkative and a troublemaker. He proposes to use his vacuum in hand technique for soccer, but he refuses, excusing that he hasn't trained for a long time. The duo goes to a big building to meet Sing's third brother, who seems to be a very busy and hardworking man. He proposes to him to use his steel shirt technique in order to play. But he refuses because he is a businessman and has a busy schedule. They try again with his sixth brother, nicknamed Lightweight, proposing him to be a lateral. But he hesitates because he suffers from obesity caused by a virus that invaded his cerebellum and does not let him lose weight. Now they try with his second brother, proposing him to use his hook leg to be a striker, while he is washing dishes on a sidewalk. He rejects it in great anger, believing that life is unfair. They all reject him. However, once the young man has gone and left them alone, one after another the brothers look at their picture together, back when they were training Shaolin. Sing laments and blames himself for not being able to convince them. Before speaking further, a lightweight appears on the scene. After him, all the other brothers make an extraordinary appearance, and the team is officially formed. Raining begins, and the first big problem that arises is ignorance of how to play soccer. Sing gets into trouble for not being able to control his kicking strength, so he starts training with eggs. The coach draws a target on a wall, in order for him to continue practicing his control, while the rest learn, perfecting their ideal skills. While everyone is already making great progress, the ground begins to shake from the big, strong, and accurate kicks that Sing manages to deliver to the target on the wall. The time comes to play a real match with the same team that Sing had faced the first time on the street. A bit of tension is seen as they realize that the other team came armed, but they agree to look out for each other. The match went on normally until when it was Sing's turn to kick at goal, when two opponents hit him at the same time, one in the head and one in the leg, and then he was hit by the whole other team from every possible direction. The match turned into a fierce battle of kung fu and street fighting. The Shaolin were falling one by one in the battle line until they decide to surrender to the big blows, the first brother being the one who raises the white flag. The opposing team forces the first brother to put a pair of underpants on his head as a sign of humiliation, and he complies. The match seemed to be over. However, everything changes when the clouds announce that it is Shaolin's turn to counterattack. Everyone in Zen positions recharges their energies. The match restarts and everything is different. The Shaolin start to use their kung fu techniques to attack and make surprising passes. An incredible shot by Sing hits the crossbar, with no goal, but generating great respect for the team. After the tremendous show, the rivals ask for forgiveness and beg to be accepted into the Shaolin team. In a large swimming pool, Hung, the famous coach from the beginning, is seen training some players underwater, with sophisticated equipment and iron balls to bring out their maximum power. Closer and closer to creating an invincible and unstoppable player. Feng tries to enter his team in the open soccer tournament that was to take place, but the secretary won't let him until Hung enters the scene and asks to see the team. Upon seeing them, a laugh comes out of him and, in a mocking tone, wanting to see them play and even being willing to pay the registration fee. Sing appears at the bun stand at night, while Mui closed his small shop. Without saying anything to her, he grabs her by the hand and takes her to a shopping mall. While she is looking at dresses and clothes, Sing tells her that very soon he will be rich and famous because of soccer. He thanks her for fixing his sneakers, so he promises that when he has money, he will buy her anything she wants. They say goodbye because the boy had promised to clean the floor of the place in exchange for being able to take her. The uniform team appears excited and anxious for their first match. The showdown is about to begin, and the rivals taunt the Shaolin team. The match begins with an inadvertent Shaolin goal, followed by other quick and efficient scores. A call comes to Hung at home, telling him that the Shaolin were leading 4-0. The games continued against other teams, and one after another they beat them all. The press began to be very interested in the Shaolin team, giving them interviews and special reports. Even Puma started to sponsor them, giving shoes to the whole team. The team celebrates at the bun shop, getting rid of their old sneakers. Sing meets Mui. He gives her some new sneakers, as promised, and introduces her as his friend to the others on the team, who laugh and guffaw at her appearance. She joined in until she was suddenly very angry. She instantly apologized for getting angry, but when Sing asks her the cause of her anger, she explodes asking what his intentions are with her. She leaves without waiting for an answer until her boss shows up and starts to mistreat her in front of everyone. Sing opposes and defends her and the rest of the team. Seeing how they defend her gave Mui the courage to express herself, confront her boss, and defend herself from the attacks with her Shaolin techniques. The boss escapes and the team celebrates with her. Alone, Mui confesses to Sing that she likes him, but Sing tells her that it's best to just be friends. To which Mui tearfully replies that it was okay, and runs to get back to the rest of the team. The team faces their last match before the finals. Their opponent is not easy, but they are no match for the great goalkeeper, who not only saved every ball but scored the first goal from his place. Again, they win again. Feng, the coach, visits Hung, who proposes to buy his team in exchange for their exit from the tournament. But Feng refuses it outright. Sing, before going to the championship, stops by Mui's place to give him a ticket but learns that he no longer works there. This upsets Sing, but he has to go out and play. The team enters the field, greeting their great fans, ready to face the evil team, coached by Hung. The match begins. Shaolin has the advantage until, at the moment of attacking, the rival goalkeeper is able to save all the shots. An opposing player kicks at the goal, and the goalkeeper manages to stop the ball, but in return, he suffered an incredible burn on his hand. The second shot was so powerful that it burned not only his hands but all his clothes. Is not enough with that, the player kicks the goalkeeper in the face, knocking him off the field. However, the referee, obviously bribed, calls a corner kick and no foul. With the goalkeeper out of the game, everyone tried hard to guard the goal, but could not cope with the players. Angry, Singh almost provoked a confrontation, but the first half was over. In the locker room everyone is wondering what was going on, but many players started to get off in fear. A tense atmosphere is generated between fights and casualties until the third brother decides to become a goalkeeper. The match resumes. Time stops when all the players face the new archer, who decides to use his body to stop all the voracious blows. With his face and clothes torn, the third brother manages to catch the ball with his stomach and throw it toward the players, thus restarting the match. With an incredible kick, Singh shoots toward the goal but hits the crossbar again under the watchful eyes of everyone. 3 players corner him, hold his leg and break it. But the referee, far from calling a foul, comes over to tell him that if he doesn't stand up, they lose by default. Still with a broken leg, he tries to stand up. Hung orders his team to occupy the special attack. The player hits the ball into the goal, being saved by the goalkeeper's stomach but causing severe damage to him. The goalkeeper is out of the game, so if another player does not appear, they would lose by default. Just about to blow the whistle to end the game, Mui appears with shaved hair, pretending to be a man and introducing himself as the replacement goalkeeper. Just entering, Mui earns the mockery of everyone by playing strangely badly. The player attacks with all his might but fails to even damage Mui, who with his hand movements easily stops the ball. He throws the ball to Singh, who manages to kick at the goal with a stormy force that even knocks down the pipes, but leaves the ball exactly inside the square of the goal. With Singh's goal, Shaolin beat the evil team 1-0, taking the cup. Changing the scene, a newspaper tells us that finally, Singh and Mui get married, and Hung is eliminated for using illegal drugs on his players. Singh runs through the streets of downtown, watching as everyone finally makes use of his Shaolin techniques for everyday life, just as he dreamed of. The end. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new movie recaps.